What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's Fignight with the FigGuys.
Woo! I'm
What's
pumped,
up,
man.
Mike Belcaster? What an episode we have tonight.
Yeah, what an episode indeed. Obviously, we're going to have our special guest here in just a few. But guys, happy Tuesday. Happy Fignight. What's going on, Tom? How's your week been so far? How's it been since last Fignight?
I mean, it's always good. Like it's been a great week. I think I did pick up a couple new figures this week. Tomorrow I'm excited because we got something going on sale that I've been looking forward to, and I got to rescue some baby turkeys today.
You were shucking and jiving with those jive turkeys, man. I hope you brought the slick figure with while you were hanging out with all those turkeys. It's awesome though. Yeah, a little hero Tom over here.
Yeah, so let me tell people really quick. All the people want to know this. They're here to watch figures. I'm talking about baby turkeys. What's up, people in the chat? We got Alex West. What's up, Alex West? We've got Nick Storm. We got Matt Goldberg in the house. We got Justin. What's up, Justin? And I think we have a guest. You ready to bring in our guest?
I'm always ready to bring in the guest, man.
We could talk turkey another time. Let's bring in our guest.
I got something for you this time. I got a guy I want to talk to.
What's up, Steve Ozer? Welcome back to FigGuys. How you doing, buddy?
Turkey.
Yeah. I told Mike I was sending Mike pictures. I was at my parents' house today, and there was a full-size turkey, which there are usually no turkeys on Staten Island, with two little babies, and a dog scared it. And the babies ran one way, and the mama turkey ran another way. And the baby turkey was in my parents' yard crying, and the mama turkey was going nuts looking for it. So me and my dad had to go out. I had to guide the baby turkey out with a broom, and it was just a fun little thing. And then you see them all run off together, all happy again. So I reunited a happy little turkey family. So
well, that's less delicious, but okay.
That's what I said. It's happily ever after until Thanksgiving. But we're not here to talk turkey. We're here to talk figures. What's up, Steve? How's everything with you?
It's good. It's good. It still feels just as busy as WrestleMania season, but we're keeping busy making the toys for you guys.
It's hard to believe it's been over a month already since we were all hanging out at the World in the Superstore and checking it out. I mean, time flies. So I can't imagine for you. What's it like? You just finished that, but you also have like Comic-Con in the wings now, so you don't really get any downtime right now, do you?
No, and there's more than that. I mean, Comic-Con obviously is public facing and it's for you, the fans, but we need to actually make this stuff and sell it into retailers and do marketing campaigns and a whole lot of stuff that maybe isn't as fun. So it's busy. It's busy, but when we get to Comic-Con, when we do WrestleMania, things like that, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've said this story many times, but one of the things that amazed me the most that weekend is I was standing there talking with Bill, and this little kid comes up to him, had to be about 10 years old, and just said, and thanks him for all the figures. And I got goosebumps watching that. Do you have a highlight from the weekend like that? What is that weekend like for you guys, like for you personally?
So that kid Bill Page showed up, huh? Good. I'm glad he got his money's worth. But it's all about getting to spend time with the fans and talk action figures. There's the fandom, which myself and Bill and Robert Rudman and a few others on the team are action figure fans and WWE fans. And there's the business stuff that we have to get through to get to the fun stuff, like I just said. So it's I'm counting the days until these next moments, like Comic-Con coming up next, and Mania on top of it being WrestleMania and showing reveals and all that fun stuff. It was a homecoming. I got to spend some time at home with my mom and visit old hangs in South Philly and eat food that I used to eat when I was a kid. So it was pretty awesome.
Dude, tell me, since I work in Philly now, where's your favorite spot to go eat there? What's your favorite cheesesteak? And if you say Pat's or Gino's, I have to end it right now.
I was never into the battle between Pats and Geno's. I'll eat whatever. Like whatever has the shortest line is what I care about. Especially now that it used to be like the Cheese Whiz style was the differentiator between the two, and now it's like you can get real cheese or Cheese Whiz or whatever. So it kind of doesn't matter. But I am a hoagie guy, and I love Wawa hoagies. So every time I go home, I have to go to Wawa. I have to get an Italian hoagie, or I do love the Wawa meatball sandwiches too. They're pretty damn good.
I've never had the meatball sandwich. I just had a Wawa the other night because there's one 2 minutes from my house, and I was on my way home from work in Philly, and it's like I need something. And their sandwiches, I feel like they've improved on them lately. Like, I don't know. I feel like I like the way they put them together better lately.
They're great, and you have to be a local to understand because you talk to people, and they're like, "Wait! It's a gas station, and you get sandwiches at the gas station." But if you know, it's good.
I love Wawa, and their pretzels. Their pretzels are my go-to. Like, they have the best pretzels. And anyway, we're talking food again.
I'm sure it happens every week, man.
guys, right?
Yeah,
it's the food guys. But Steve
Ozer, our new
Ozer.
side project. We're working on it. It's doing good. Man, but speaking of WrestleMania, what a spread! Oh my goodness, I got to sit home and watch all the goodness happening. Thankful for Tom to showing the pictures. Obviously, you guys, I'm jacked up. So many good reveals, so many awesome things, so many new names. I mean, we've seen Headbangers. We've seen that awesome Territories line that is dropping tomorrow.
Box set, not a
box
line.
Set. Yeah, absolutely. But unbelievable stuff, man. I'm so excited for the rest of the year already.
Dude, yeah, it's so true. Like, the reveals were great that weekend. To me, it was my first experience being there live. So to experience it, it's like I said to my wife, I don't know if I could ever miss this again every WrestleMania weekend now. And I'm like, even if I don't get to go to Mania, although tickets shouldn't be as expensive as they were this year, like just for going to the World and the Superstore and WrestleCon and all the fun side stuff, to me, it's worth it for that all alone. And you get WrestleMania on top of it. So I'm thinking about Las Vegas next year. I have friends out there. It wouldn't cost me to stay. Just got to leave all the money at home so I don't go to any casinos. But
yeah, big announcement, Vegas. How exciting is that? I know there's a lot of people who think that Mania should be in New Orleans every year, but maybe every other year. Maybe you get like Las Vegas, New Orleans, and then you do Philly was great. It was really great. Everything was so convenient and easy. It was easy to get to the venues with public transportation. I like that. And I lived in Orlando too, and I love Orlando, but going to Mania there was a nightmare. And I don't want to experience that again as much as I love Orlando. But yeah, things like cities like Philly and New Orleans, let's do that time and time again.
Yeah, Vegas is going to be so fun, I think. And it's one of those places where everything is in like that convenient area. You got restaurants, you got your hotels, you got your venues. It's going to be back to back. Super fun, man.
Hopefully we all make it to our shifts.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm hoping to be there. But let's talk about what's coming tomorrow. I'm excited. We're getting a brand new territory set featuring superstar Billy Graham, Harley Race, Muhammad Ali, and Gorilla Monsoon. I am so excited for this set. Let's talk about it. How beautiful. First of all, we're getting a Harley Race that I like. King Harley Race, yes, love it. But when I think Harley Race, this is the robe, this is the belt, this is what I think.
Great set. So excited. I mean, the championship titles is enough to sell the set on their own. Billy Graham has the upgraded arms. I don't know if you just mentioned that, but he's got the Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner style arms, so huge biceps on him. Harley, with the gear, as I think a lot of people were hoping for, and the entrance robe, and then that pairing of Ali and Monsoon. Obviously we've done a couple Alis. This could be the tail end of that, guys who have Ali fatigue. So this is an iconic moment to go out on if this is the end of the Ali figures for now.
Hey, I've been to Target at least a dozen times in the last week, and Muhammad Ali is the only one not on the shelves right now. So
he's actually the top seller of the Legends line thus far.
That's impressive, man.
yeah. So I think once you get outside of the wrestling bubble, you get that crossover appeal that everyone involved in this deal was hoping for. So
No, this is a stellar set. I mean, the 10 pounds of gold right there, a absolute beautiful thing. Was not on my bingo card for 2024 either. So when I seen the announcement, I was super excited. But Superstar Billy Graham as well. I mean, Monsoon in wrestling gear. I'm just goosebumps. So pumped for these.
So the titles, I've been keeping that territory title under wraps for quite a while now. We expanded our deal with our championship title partner. They do a lot of the classic belts, or they did a lot of the classic belts, and the rights holders to it. And when I first came on board and our deal with them came up, they were like, "Hey, we've got more titles here, than what you're currently utilizing. Do you want to see the list?" And I was like, "Heck yeah!" And we expanded on what we originally had, which is why over the last several years you were seeing quite a few new titles, be dropped into the mix, WCW titles and what have you. And this really was like the coup de grace of all the additional titles that we got. There are more, but this is the one that I was like waiting for the moment to release. And there was a few other opportunities that we were gonna explore doing it with, and they didn't pan out. Like, I'll say, obviously we don't have Ric Flair right now, right? So he was someone we had earmarked to have this title in Elite 100 actually. And when he was no longer available, that got put on ice for a little bit. But I think it all worked out because we got the Harley that so many people wanted for so long, and he gets to debut this title.
Yeah, definitive. It's like, dude, the Big Lebowski. It really ties the room together, and it really ties the Harley race figure together, man. It's such an iconic look for him. With the mutton chops and everything. Like I don't think there's a Harley race fan out there that cannot be excited for this set. It's amazing.
I just wish he had a cigar.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to start a faction, a Fig faction. We need the Harley race, the Triple H with their beard and the mustache. We can put Kenny Omega in there too, from when he was the belt collector. What a fun faction that would be.
Yeah, and Lemmy.
Yes.
And Lemmy, perfect. There you go.
So good.
So here's a question for you. We've seen everything going on with WWE. It's red hot. They're in new hands now. Have you noticed, is there anything different you've noticed with the figures and coming from all the changes in the line? Is there anything that you're happy about? Is there anything different?
I don't think so, because we've been making progress over the last several years. And I think, when you look at the Legends list that we have as a roster, that's basically what it is. It's a Legends roster. It acts as like any other roster in professional wrestling or in sports. You have an established roster, and people have to come in and people have to come out, right? It can't just expand exponentially forever, right? So as people, leave, or you give them a rest, or maybe they don't want to re-sign at this time, whatever the reasons are, that opens up spots for someone new to come in. And that's why you're seeing like a sprinkling each year of first time in the line, figures. So, nothing's really changed with that. Obviously, you would think, with new people in charge, maybe there'll be different names that pop in and out. But that's kind of been the case the whole time anyway, right? Someone new would come along and like, okay, now we have China, right? So, I think that's just going to continue to happen. And we'll see where it leads us. And hopefully it just unlocks some of those, outstanding talent that we've been waiting for a decade now.
Yeah, like I said, a WrestleMania weekend, I got to speak to Demolition. I know they're talking to WWE again. It seems like a lot of the guys in the concussion lawsuit, there's open communication again. So many people are excited about, hopefully some of them can come back to Legends deals and we get some of those guys again. The rumors lately with the guy behind me right here, Jesse the Body Ventura, we're all clamoring for that. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we find out it's true one day and he actually puts pen to paper and we could get a whole bunch of Jesse the Body Ventura. Maybe we get a whole body shop set. Like, I know we talked about that last time.
I was going to make a body shop joke when I saw the poster, but
it's funny. I've had this poster since I was a little kid. I won it at a fair at my grandparents' church, and I just never got rid of it. And it's just hanging in my supply room, like where all my figures are stored. So like I was like, why did you keep it? I'm like, why would I get rid of it? Like that's a bet. Like if you got rid of that, what's wrong with you? So no, I love
Long live the
Jesse.
day of the carnival posters. I forgot all about those. Those were awesome when you would, play the dart game and
Yes, exactly.
come home with your Hulk Hogan
Exactly.
poster. You're like, yes, I feel good, man.
But I have little mirror things with like Hulk Hogan on it that I used to win at the fairs and everything. It's just
the best.
absolutely so
Absolute
much
best.
fun. So is the territory line, is that planned to continue? Is it a one-off? Do we know yet?
So it's just a box set. I don't know where the line idea came from, but when we did Mattel Creations Revealed, it was revealed as a box set, not a line. So think of it as your Raw anniversary box set, then Now Forever box set, whatever. So right now that's it. But if this thing like sells like gangbusters and sells out in 30 seconds, like it would be foolish of us not to try to follow it up in some way. But right now, and to be honest with you, like this came about because we had Muhammad Ali in negotiations, and we had to do a plan for him for the duration of his deal, however long that would be, with items. So we developed items around Muhammad Ali, whether it was single figures, the Comic-Con item, and now this. So you kind of have Muhammad Ali to thank for getting that superstar Billy Graham with the WWF title, Harley Race with the NWA title, and this 70s Gorilla Monsoon. Like they were built around Muhammad Ali. So I saw that question asked quite a few times, like how come Ali was in here? Well, the box set wouldn't exist without Muhammad Ali. Because I mean, think of yourself if you're going into leadership of your company, and like who's the hook that they're going to be like, okay, I can get behind this, and it was Ali. So cut the inclusion of Ali a little slack here, and the price is so good. It's
just saying it.
Just pretend the other figures are more expensive and Ali is free if you're that offended by it.
No,
I've seen people pay more for just the titles that are being offered. So sign me up, man.
That's so true. Me and Mike were just talking right before we came on air. $80 price point for this box set. Like you can't beat that. Like yes,
insane.
Sign me up. I'm buying it tomorrow first thing. I remember I've seen every Coliseum video I had as a kid that was like the best of. I feel like they had the Gorilla Monsoon and Muhammad Ali spot on it. I mean, so I'm excited to be getting this, and I love the posters. I was showing Mike the pictures you have up on Mattel Creations, recreating it. Like it's exactly what I remember. I remember Gorilla Monsoon getting him up in the airplane spin, and that picture's up there. So like kudos to those pictures. And if you guys haven't seen it, you head on over to Mattel Creations, and the pictures are up. I cannot wait to get this set, and if it means having another Muhammad Ali, sign me up. Like, because those are 3 figures I need in my collection.
You have to have your shelf with Monsoon pose with Ali in the airplanes.
Absolutely, 100%.
So
so cool.
Do you find it more challenging now, because we're 14 years into the Mattel license now, right? About 14.
Yeah,
give or take. Okay, so like we've had all the Hogans, all the Warriors, all the Stone Colds, like all the big moments, all the big guys are there. Like, is it challenging now trying to come up with new sets and new things to get people to stay interested, especially like the all-time guys who collect the legends?
I don't think so, because I think that there's just so many variations that people have dreamed of, like that are coming to fruition now, like Real American Guitar Hulk Hogan. Like I even if you didn't long for it prior to its reveal, like when you saw it, you're like, oh my god, I need that. And people are thinking like, oh, I'm out, I have enough Hogan, and like that just turns it right around. So, and there's tons to do still, and not to get too deep on Hogan, but just think of like the cool moments that he's had, Slammies, Paul Driver album. There's just like WCW, like very lightly explored at this point. Rock and wrestling. There's tons to still explore for someone just like Hulk, and then you expand that upon all the legendary main event guys you have and all the supporting casts, and I don't even think we've scratched the surface. And then you add new talent to the mix. We just got word that 2 more former WWE stars have signed deals that allow action figures. So it's like I don't know. I don't think you can slow this down at this point unless we just lose all our talent deals.
Yeah.
No, I agree with the guys in the chat. I want every Hogan possible. And then you mentioned pile driver Hogan, and I'm like, yes, I need that. I never thought of it, but it's just like suited Andre. I didn't know I needed it until you announced it, and then it's like I need that yesterday. Like, oh my gosh! And I think that's why it's almost more fun right now to be a figure fan, because we're getting those deep dives that we never imagined we'd get in our collection.
And these weren't insignificant moments either. Like, these are moments that we all saw in our face repeatedly for years. We went to, our local whatever store at the time, Kmart's or was Target around back then, whatever. And you see that Pile Driver album sitting there. Like, every time you go there, it's, the Slammies, you see these things, replayed, you rent Coliseum home videos and watch them. So yes, one time on TV, but they just were ever present beyond that. I went to the shows at the Spectrum, and before every show they showed all the music videos from the Pile Driver album, so Real American included, even though that wasn't on Pile Driver.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right. And again, that was originally Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo's theme song. So, like, it's funny how things work out that it becomes so iconic as Hogan's theme song when it wasn't even made for him. Like, how funny is that? But
yeah,
and most people don't even remember that. Like, I remember going to the Garden MSG and Hogan coming out to Eye of the Tiger, and I tell Mike, like, if I get to find an old videotape with that, like, it hits different than Real American. It was just because the Garden was so lit back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think of Junkyard Dog coming out to Another One Bites the Dust. I think of Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo coming out to Born in the USA. So, like, those songs all hit, like, different for me, for them as theme songs. But it's just fun, and it just shows you how much the music means to these themes and watching these guys come out. So fun times. I'm
going to elaborate on the just scratching the surface thing, because I mean, you've done so many different figures already, but now we're finally getting like our Lou's, we're getting our WCW Pipers and stuff. Like, there's so much out there, vast world of talent and people to work with, and different companies, different looks, different everything. It's just like right now I feel like I'm being spoiled. Like, I finally just opened up the Survivor Series set. Finally just got it, and the packaging is phenomenal. My kids went nuts for Gobbledygooker. They've never seen Gobbledygooker. And it was like, oh, we're going to open up the turkey. I was like, and we're bringing it back to turkeys here. But yeah, it's so, like, those little things, like the egg, like the kids were so excited to set up the egg, and it was just like, that made me a happy collector, a happy fan. But we got so much more room for these things, and it's cool to be able to share that with them too.
Yeah. Well, my goal is to make you run out of room.
Yeah, well, if you see my living room, that's just the corner that's always on the air. It's boxes everywhere. I live in a little tiny factory at this point.
Same thing in my basement. Like, there's just, and I'm having like 5 people stay over our house in a couple of weeks, and they're going to be staying in the basement. And my wife's like, you got to do something about that basement, because I just have boxes piled everywhere.
Make a bed of the doubles, and they can sleep in the boxes.
I don't want them ruining my doubles. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, speaking of WCW, I know I brought up Piper and stuff. The Monday Night Wars line seems like it's very successful. A lot of people highly sought after. I still have yet to see them in stores. And thankful to Tom and our awesome guys here that helped out with let me buy them off of them. It's awesome. I'm very pumped for it as a Attitude Era kid, as a big WCW guy, big WWF guy. I'm super pumped to see all this coming around. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on the success of it so far?
I mean, Walmart's happy. We're happy. It's doing as well as we thought it would. I feel like whatever's out there is getting gobbled up, which is amazing. And that Walmart reset that happened in the aisles recently, their planogram or mod set. Target is one or the other, and Walmart's the other, mod or planogram. Anyway, big business the last few weeks with Target resetting and Walmart resetting and a whole slew of availability, and all you guys gobbling up everything. So thanks to everybody. And it just means, it strengthens the chance of Monday Night War just lasting and hopefully lasting the test of time. We get a couple years out of this line and sign more people and really go as deep as people are hoping. But I'm really happy. A lot of the execution came from my ideas or my collaboration. So I'm very proud of it. It's near and dear to my heart, even though it's not a line that I manage on a daily basis. I kind of claim creative control over it a little bit with one of our junior designers, Hector. And Bill, of course, does the ultimates. So it's turning out really nice, and I love like the packaging execution. George did a great job, and the inclusion of the dates on it, all that good stuff. So hopefully more exciting stuff to come. Whether it's variations of the the talent that you all know we have access to already, or some surprises here and there. Fingers crossed. I just hope it lasts a couple years and you guys keep enjoying it.
Yeah. No, for sure. The response from what I've seen online has been awesome. I see a lot of people biting their lips on not pre-ordering that Nitro stage, not backing the stage up, and it's even more bittersweet. It feels, because I mean you got the ring behind you. Obviously, we got the Bischoff. Everything's just kind of there, and all these people still want it. It's so sad, especially seeing those Mattel commercials still popping up.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but look, not to beat a dead horse,
Yeah, absolutely, and I hate bringing it up.
But, I tried to show everyone as much as humanly possible to show you what was coming and the possibilities. But it's okay. Things happen.
Yeah.
In that moment in time, we didn't have enough support and it didn't go through, and that's kind of why you do crowdfunds, right? You minimize the risk, you test the waters, and it didn't work. It's a bummer, but we're getting the figures and we're getting lots of them. So
yeah,
and we have a ring. You can put them in your ring.
So I mean, I know I see a lot of people clamoring for it. Is there a chance it's tooled? Is there a chance you would bring it back and try again?
Well, it's not tooled. You don't pull the trigger on tooling until it's funded. That's because that's one of the biggest investments. I mean, it's a big investment to develop it, but the tooling is a huge investment for a big item like that. So all the models that you saw were 3D printed. Nothing was at the tooling phase. Even the figures, those were 3D printed, and they had to get around. We had to cut the soft good samples and wrap them around the figures and then hot glue them to get the soft goods on them. We wound up doing a few things here and there, like Scott Steiner's arms, were used on the Elite. So, they were eventually tooled first, second. I don't know what the order is anymore, but we're rescuing what we can where it makes sense. DDP's head, one of the heads from the Ultimate, we used that sculpt. It wasn't tooled, but we used the existing sculpt and tooled it up for the upcoming Elite Wave. So if we can save some things that doesn't compromise, the exclusivity of what that item would have been, you're not going to get any of those figures as Ultimates, that's for sure. But can you get DDP in those colors as an Elite again someday? Maybe. You got the Ray, but you're not going to get an Ultimate. And the stage, I just don't see a path forward for it right now, unfortunately. Maybe during the next big collector boom, like we had during the pandemic.
We need to get that all rolling again, so we can just make it happen.
We don't need that extra money of them just sending us money when we start home.
Right.
Collectibles going through the roof. I don't know.
All collectibles are taking a dive, though, too. It's not just the crowdfunds or anything. I've seen a lot of secondary market stuff from I have a bunch of card sets from when I was a kid that I have absolutely no attachment to, but trying to see a full pack still sealed let go for $100. It's 95 basketball. It doesn't seem feasible, but it's a shame. But I speak for the community, as obviously we're all heartbroken about it, but hopefully down the line, who knows? Never say never. It's pro wrestling, right?
Give me a year and a half heads up of stimulus checks again, and I'll see what I can do.
I will back 8 at that point, and not just 4.
Mike, you'll need a new house just for all your stages.
That's the plan. I'm gonna have just a giant arena built inside of my garage or something at that point.
What I really wanted to do with it, if it would have come to fruition, is set up a permanent classic WCW stage, because it was what's the word for it? It was customizable. I'll say customizable. There's a better word. But you could have just extended it forward and had like that long ramp and connect to the ring, and it was pretty perfect. Cool. So that's a bummer, but yeah. and then hang tinsel, hang the old behind it.
So those Christmas clearances, they go on handy, man. No, it's such a great line, and the figures. I mean, at least we're getting
Modular.
those.
Thanks, Matt.
Modular.
Yeah, modular. That's what
But so many great ththings have come just from that crowdfund. I mean, we got the Lions coming out, and everything's just knocked out of the park. I just opened up Scott Hall finally. Like I'm in heaven with all these toys, man. And the Piper is phenomenal. Like I sent the picture that I shot to one of my friends, and he's like, wow. He's like, I haven't seen the Icon shirt in years. He's like, where'd you get that? And I was like, oh, Mattel's making these awesome, throwbacks. And he's like, wow. He's like, I'm gonna go pick that up if I see it. And it was cool. It's cool to see somebody who's past their collecting days want to get back into it because of stuff like that, and it's awesome.
All it takes is one to get you back in.
Exactly, and that's the thought. Like, it's that one. Everyone's waiting for that one execution that they love, and it sucks you right back in. All in again.
I had to talk about that Lou Albano figure because, man, I wait. Like, that was my grail. That was the one figure I wish, like, if we could get a figure, it was Lou Albano. And then I get it, and just the way the vest was so perfect over the shirt, like, you guys really knocked it out of the park. Looks just like Captain Lou. Like, sometimes the wait is so worth it, because if we got this figure 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been this version of Captain Lou.
Yep.
Like, so waiting is worth it. I don't even know if I have another person. Like, I almost feel greedy saying, who would I want now after Lou Albano, since I wanted him so bad? But maybe Mr. Fuji. But
Definitely, yeah.
But like, nailed it, absolutely nailed it. And when I was walking around the superstore and I'm looking at the display of the little ultimate editions that are coming out, which, by the way, I have the Gunther and the new set on pre-order, looking at them, I just don't know how you guys can improve on how lifelike these figures look. Like, is there more technology to help improve, or do you feel like we're kind of reaching a plateau with how great these figures are?
I think there's always going to be improvements. There is something we're working on for just a mini improvement for 2025. I had to think of what year we're in now. So yeah, we're always going to try to advance things along. Sometimes it'll just be little nudges, and sometimes, maybe the factory comes back and, like, we have this whole new process, like DIJ. That's kind of like, it was a new process that came about, and you saw some companies like Mayfex and Figuarts, Bandai Figuarts doing it. And it kind of like revolutionized the deco on action figures' faces, and got things ultra realistic. So as those things happen, whether it's deco application or construction or whatever, things are just going to get better and better. The pinless arms and legs, that just wasn't possible years ago, and now it's the standard, and it's a great aesthetic now. And it's just I don't know what's next besides that little thing we're working on for 25, but I'm sure things will keep progressing.
That's cool. I took pictures of that Undertaker from the Survivor Series. Unbelievable likeness. Like, I've had people going, that's a photo of a toy, and I was like, yeah. So, like, a stellar job. Like, I can't get over. Like, I'm looking at the Undertaker right now. Like, just the eyes, the facial expression. It's so spot on. And, like, me playing with a bone cruncher from back in the day to this, the evolution is just insane to think about.
And that bone cruncher, that head sculpt on the bone cruncher, is the inspiration for the head sculpt on the Wave 1 Elite figure of Monday Night War. So
I was telling Tom about that the other day, because I was like, oh, I'm going to compare them when I open and it's just, like, I caught it right away, and I love that you guys are kind of throwing little nods back to history for things like that, because the Taker looks spot on to this, and this is one of my favorite bone crunchers. Like, it's just so much nostalgia hit me in the face. It's amazing.
I was actually hoping for that type of hair sculpt in particular on the Ultimate Undertaker. And Bill went, in a different direction creatively. So when Hector and I worked on Wave 1, I was like, this is the head we have to do. And my ulterior motive personally, aside from, making a new Undertaker figure for the line and for you guys, was swapping the head onto my Ultimate Undertaker.
I love it, and I'm going to do that now that you said it. But it's those little things, like having like that awesome throwback, and like seeing the headbangers coming out, like, it just reignites that fire. And just like when you start feeling those little down points in collecting, we're like, oh, my stores aren't getting anything, blah blah. You get the WWE World reveals. and it just smacks you back in the face, and you're like back on board. Like, right, I'm getting back on the horse. Let's go, and it's the best, man.
And I gotta say, I'm impressed. My Walmart, I was actually there yesterday, and I got a second set of the Monday Night War Series 1 in. So, and I know you said that they should become easier to find. So far, it's beginning to look like that's the truth, because my Walmart doesn't usually get this stuff. So I found the Ultimate Editions there. I found Series 1. I'm hoping Series 2 pops up any day. So, I mean, Target's been on track. Target is so easy to get stuff from now. It'd be so nice to get that from Walmart to make the hunting just a little less crazy, and me not panicking and running to Macari and then finding everything 2 days later, like I did with the Piper and Bret Hart Ultimates from Monday Night War Series 1.
Yeah,
so.
It's part of the fun.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is fun.
And it's awesome when the community comes together, and like I can't be more thankful for people like Tom, picking up figures for me when my Walmarts are sparse and looking high and dry. It's the best.
Yeah, and I think things have gotten better. We took a beat after some pre-orders weren't being fulfilled, and hit the reset button, and then I think you saw with the Maivia family pack, there were in maybe the double or triple digits some cancellations, but nowhere near what we had experienced before, with everything being canceled. Yeah. So the majority of those orders were fulfilled, so that was a huge leap forward for us. And then we hope with the fulfillment of Monday Night War Wave 3 and Monday Night War Ultimates Wave 2, it's 100% fulfillment, barring any weird issues or whatever, but 100% fulfillment. And then into 2025, every wave of Monday Night War Elites and Ultimates that are brand new figures will be available for pre-sale on Walmart.com. That's the plan right now. So we're taking even more steps to make things a little bit easier for you, and working with Walmart to try to make things better. In store, it's probably going to be similar to what you're seeing now, to where you'll hit your reset dates and some new stuff will come out. But the waves are rolling waves, so as soon as that next wave is ready, and Walmart needs it, we will ship it out, much like you're seeing Wave 2 already being shipped out for the Elites.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm pumped for that.
Listen, and for all the people saying, I see Tim Merritt here saying his Walmarts are telling him they're probably too small, they won't get them. But if you could order it online and pick it up there, it makes it so much easier, and it's so much less stress as a collector to think, oh my gosh, I might not get this because of Walmart. So if all they got to do is fulfill their online orders, and I think everybody would be happy.
Hang in there a little more, Tim. 2025, I hope it's a breeze for you.
There we go.
I like it.
There we go. And again, it's just so you've been there. How long have you been at Mattel for now?
Oh my gosh, since 2018, maybe.
Wow. So it's just the steps forward we've made since you've joined. The way you interact with the community, this line has definitely grown and become what it is. Thanks to you. When you get people in there who care and are fans, it shows. And you've had this battle with Walmart for a while, and now we're starting to see differences, and that's awesome. So on behalf of all the fans out there, just thank you for caring and doing this for us.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, look, we're in I'm blessed to be in a dream team situation with some of the people that I work with. My partner at Mattel, who handles Walmart, is the best in the business now. He just stepped onto the business recently, and he is doing a fantastic job, which is one of the primary reasons you're seeing, some of these improvements. So we work closely. From a design perspective, I have Makina, obviously, a effing legend, right? His manager is another legend, Bill Beneke. He does the Superstars line, and he manages, everything WWE and all the designers. And he used to do our DC business. So there's so many parts of the equation. Packaging, George and Bruce, established veterans now in the industry, and so great to work with. Robert Rudman, lifelong fan, best copywriter in the business. There's so many elements in here that help make things better, put love into everything we do, and I'm glad you see that, and it's translating well. And this is the good old days right now. Everybody says I wish I knew what the good old days were. We're in it. We're in the good old days for collecting wrestling figures, like this is a moment that we're having. I think I've said this before to you guys, or something similar, but like we're in a moment now, and I'm very cognizant that we're in a moment now.
It's cool, man. And you can say it better. This is the good old days. Like we're gonna look back at this in like 10 years and be like, guys, remember how awesome collecting was in the 2000s, the 2020s? It's insane, man. But I mean, character wise, all the cool stuff coming out, the collabs. Oh, we talked about it a few weeks ago here on Fignight. We're talking about the Ninja Turtle collab with those awesome new figures you guys got coming out. The packaging looks stellar on those. The figures are it's a lot of hit or miss between people. I think this is the coolest thing to see, like especially in the box, like the sewer cap coming off on the top of the packaging. It's who does that? Like it sells the figures so much more. And Cody Rhodes is Casey Jones. Whoever put that together, bravo.
That was Bill Beneke designed those. George did packaging, and it's input with love from myself and Robert Rudman, Beneke, George. All people who love Ninja Turtles, love WWE, and we saw options, and the classic cartoon was the way to go. Homage to the movie poster was the way to go. It's love, and sometimes you can't overcome everything with just love alone, right? There's a lot of factors, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but lines like this, it kind of bleeds through that people made it that care.
Yeah, no, it's so cool, and great character choices. I think like just everybody looks the part so well. My only gripe is no Kevin Nash as Shredder. I mean, come on.
You have to know without even saying that I did my damnedest to try to make that happen some way, somehow. And there's amazing designs on the cutting room floor that I don't think will come to fruition because it's just 2 waves now, and I'm like heartbroken about it. But yeah, the Nash thing was maybe the second thing, maybe the first that came out of my mouth when I found out this was a possibility.
It's an inside joke going back and forth, but I love Turtles, always have. It was like me and my brother's like favorite toys playing with when we were little kids, and I love the last collab with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was amazing. This, I think, knocks it out of the park, especially because they're in elite form. Super, super awesome. I'm so stoked for these to hit the shelves and get these in the collection. My nephew's a big Turtles kid. Like we both grew up loving it, man. So it's cool to share that with him because he's seen those. He's 13 right now. He doesn't want to touch an action figure, and he was like, "Man, these look so awesome. Let's go grab them." And I was like, "You gotta wait, man." But it's super, super good job, man. I just had to throw that out there.
I'll even say I tried to use this opportunity to make the Toxic Turtles happen. I was like, "Oh my god, let's try to figure this out," and it didn't get very far.
Yeah,
but yeah,
awesome.
any like little crack in the door that you can get your foot in and try to make some of these wacky things happen, I totally shoot my shot.
Yeah, you guys knocked it out of the park. So good. And like Nick Storm's comment, Paul Heyman as Krang would have been fantastic. I can only think of everything. So good.
Like I know you deal with the boards. You're on social media. You hear everybody's wants and needs. How hard is it for you when you learn somebody is signed? Like, can you not wait to show off who it is? Like, or do you get excited for yourself? Like, I would imagine if it was me, like I'd be so excited. It'd be so hard not to want to go say something. Obviously, you can't for legal reasons, probably. But like, you must get excited when you finally sign Lou Albano to a deal. When you know people have been asking for him.
Yeah, but the process is exciting, and revealing something properly is exciting. Like, what's better? You sitting in a movie theater and you don't know what trailers are going to hit, and then like, holy shit, I don't know if I can curse here. Holy shit, they dropped a new Star Wars trailer, and it's with the original cast and they're young, and it's amazing, and it's everything you ever wanted out of a Star Wars sequel. Or do you want to read that stuff on the internet, like that it's all happening and it's just like, oh, will this be good? Like, I don't know. Like you want that wow moment, right?
Yeah.
So to me, like, that's an important part of all this. And yeah, sometimes you do, like I just gave 2 waves of elite figures to the major pod yesterday to reveal as part of their 300th episode. 300th episode, is that right?
Yeah.
300th episode, to help celebrate, and that's fine, and it's excitement and everything, but nothing beats like going to Comic-Con and like, walking up and seeing the case and being like, oh my God, they made, whoever Captain Lou Albano, like that's the best way to find out, or a really nice promo photo or something, not like a stolen, prototype from Asia.
Yeah.
You want something shown in the best way possible to get the most excitement. And I think that resonates with most people. Or else what are we even doing here, right?
I think you nailed it there, because for how long the Headbangers announced, oh, we have Legends deal, we just signed a Legends deal, and then every reveal you guys did afterwards, people were like, where's renders, where's everything? And then at the Superstore, we finally you show the figures, and they look amazing. Everything about those Headbanger figures absolutely worth the wait. And seeing them there instead of seeing it on a screen as a render, yes, I would much rather see that, because it just makes me more excited.
Yeah, you don't go to the bakery to see the ingredients; you go to see the bread, right? I mean, that's the thing. You don't deliver. Here's the wheat and the flour. Like, no, we want the loaf fresh, hot out of the oven, man. So good.
You mentioned the Major Potch 300th episode. We talk about we're in a figure boom. How would you say that correlates with where we are now with the wrestling figure collecting? Like, we have all these side companies. They have 2 companies with the Big Rubber Guys and the Major Bendies. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that we grew after their whole podcast started. I think I'm taking credit. I said we. Come on.
Yeah, Matt warned me about you. Look, they were integral because, as things were starting to take off, we had the Elite Squad with them, and they started doing the podcast, and they had big ideas that, I think it was fortunate in the end that they were let go from WWE, because it allowed them to pursue all these big ideas that they had. Because I remember I went to a Royal Rumble. Where was it? Maybe in Arizona. Was there a Rumble in Arizona? Anyway, they were recording, and I was like, just in the room with them, but not participating. And then afterwards, we just like talked about stuff and talked about, how much does it cost to make a figure, and what is this and what is that, and they were already, the wheels were already spinning for them. So between them promoting and now them making things and making exciting things that people have wanted, like the Big Rubber Guy demolition figures, and finally you get a Smash in the LJN style, stuff like that, like fulfilling fantasies. Like, we're in that moment where that's what companies should be doing. They should be fulfilling, all the wants that we had as a kid in a way that is smart and makes sense for each particular company, of course. But, like that's what we need to be doing as new stewards of the wrestling business and action figures, is deliver that stuff, especially since we're catering to collectors.
Love it.
Did I answer your question? I don't even know. I think I started rambling there.
I believe so. Listen, I'm excited. Like, they announced last night, oh, we're getting Ethan Page, Big Rubber Guy, and it's like, oh, should we be doing Modern Guys? Like, yes, please. Like, I'll take the Legends. I want Modern Guys too. Like, please.
You gotta if you can, right? Sometimes, you experiment and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. But, Ethan's somebody who, he's a figure guy, like, look at what happened with his apparent AEW release and the ringside pre-order. Like, they blew up. So obviously there's something there, and they know from their own experience, as figure guys, that us in the community want figures of the real ones, right?
Yeah.
We want Danhausen, a figure guy. We want Brody King, a figure guy. We want Ethan Page. We want the majors, people who we can relate to, and also are super, toyetic. So, let's do it. Let's plug those guys in that make sense. Expand the business beyond, guys who were born in the 70s or 80s who like LJNs, and try to make that bigger into something, even more than what maybe it was their original idea from the very start to do Modern Guys, but just expand it beyond what it could have been as the initial thought.
Yeah.
Is there a line, and this is for you too, Mike, is there a line that has not been reproduced now? Like, we see retros, we see Big Rubber Guys. Is there a line that you would love to see come back, either of you, or recreate? Like, I know I want Galoobs. I would love to see current day Galoobs, fill in some of the old Galoobs. I need a Galoob collection in my life.
Galoobs are great because they're very much like the Japanese style figures as well at the time, like just like hard plastic pre-pose and like a grapple pose. So yeah, that'd be cool. Jax made lots of wacky material action figures.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So maybe something like that, when the time comes. I don't know. It's hard because I feel like we're at the point now where if we want to do something a new throwback, you have to sacrifice something, and I don't want to sacrifice anything that we're doing right now.
And I don't blame you either, because you're shooting out bangers after bangers, and it's like impossible to sit here and like that's like picking your favorite child, right? Like we got to throw one off at the highway. Let's figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool. I'm loving the love letter to everybody's childhood. I mean, with the Big Rubber Guys, with the Monday Night Wars line, like it just brings me back to going to KB Toys with my dad and like getting that feeling of picking up, the Bone Crunchers again. And like the Headbangers are going to be so cool to have in the collection. Like I remember playing with those bone crunching figures for hours on end, man. So it really brings me back to my childhood. It really makes me, just want to relive those days again. It's so good.
And maybe there's something new that's going to take off. Like Knuckle Crunchers is already off to a hot start, doing well after this planogram reset, and they're very satisfying. I'm surprised I don't have any in front of me right now.
I'm excited for those. Those
once
are cool.
You have them in hand, you can't put them down.
Yeah,
that little ring is awesome. Like I love it. I saw it in Walmart and I'm like, what is this? And like, okay, I have to buy this. Like it is so cool. I had no idea it was even coming, but it's just so much fun. Like the little different variant type of things like that, I'm all in for. So
that was a cool line to see a lot of people being like, "Ooh, I don't know about that." And then when they bought them, they were like, "All right, these are so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I like. I like stuff like that. It's the surprise effect."
Yeah, I'm hoping Knuckle Crunchers is one of those where the kids grow up 20 years from now and they look at that fondly, right? Because I think Elites, of course, nothing's going to beat Elites right now, but for the kids lines, like how many can we do that are going to resonate down the road? Rumblers, maybe one of them.
I miss the Rumblers. I love the Rumblers. I was a big fan.
There's not a lot like that. Like I don't think any kids are going to be like, man, I wish they brought back Flex Force Lightning. Sorry to never.
Ooh, but to come back to that, Tom, I would love to see. Jax used to make the deluxe aggression figures, but micro deluxe aggression, and they came with like pieces of the ring, and I mean they had some amazing sets. You were able to get the Hell in the Cell. You got it was all build the stuff, and those were awesome. I think very underappreciated at the time. They're skyrocketed on the secondary market right now. It is so hard to find that full series for a good price.
They had huge biceps, huge.
Yeah, absolutely. The scale was all over the place, but they were like, I remember they had those like packs where you would get the smallest one, then you'd get the deluxe aggression micro one, and then you'd get the actual Jax figure, and like those were, I loved them because it was like, oh, I got 3 figures in one, and it's like my figure got a figure of itself to play with, and it was fun, man. Those were so. Like I don't even know like how I would play with them, what I would do with them, but it was a line that I was in love with, and it just went boop.
Yep.
I mean, we could talk about all the different lines Jax has, but I'm sitting here thinking of it like Superstars. Now we have the main event, we have the Elites, we have the Ultimates. Like now we have the what were they called again? The Reckon. Like my brain, those new little ones.
Reckon. Oh, the new one.
The Reckon. The Knuckle Crunchers. Like
Crunchers.
it's fun to have different options. Like the Superstars line, so much fun. Like I love getting different options, and I think it just makes it more fun. It doesn't get boring of collecting the same old thing. Like, yeah, give it to me.
Some stack down comments too. I was a big. I think I have every stack down set that was made. That was one of my favorite little sidelines.
There were some Hogans that were like a little dicey of availability. I think I had to get a friend in the UK send me some. So got them all.
The NWO 3-pack was like one of my favorite things, and I remember I seen it like twice in the store. And the second time I was like, I'm not letting these slip. I grabbed 3 of them, and they're so great.
Wow, you nailed it, Mike.
Yeah, see.
Sometimes I pick up things and think like, oh, I'm gonna get 3 of these because this will be worth something down the line, and then it's like, well, I got 3 of them and I love it. So listen,
that's when the customizables come in hand, man.
Well, like the Lou Albano, Mike showed me how to customize it with the Superstar. You take his vest off, you throw that shirt on from this, and there it is. Like, it looks great.
You don't think that it was planned to have this shirt fit on the Elite?
I mean, I would not be surprised.
It looks so good, and that was the first thing. Tom sent me the Superstar, or no, Tom hooked me up with one of the guys in our chat to get the Superstars figure because I haven't seen him yet, and I had to get it. And I was like, "Oh yes!" I was like, "Give me the shirt right off!" Like we were throwing it right on the Elite.
Yeah, Bill
So
and Bill divvied those looks up. They both wanted to do a Captain Lou, and they made clear lanes for themselves. And I was ready by saving extra soft goods and whatnot to do exactly what you did. I was like, I'm swapping. Well, I want one original as is with the blue vest, but he gets a yellow shirt too.
Absolutely, so good. See, Fig Vault gets us. We were all. My wife's a big Lego person, and I can't do it because my hands are so big. So like, I love watching her put them together, and then I'm like, pick them up, play with them, break something, go, you got to put this back together. But the stack down sets were awesome, man. Really, really fun. Wow. But not as good as those Superstars. I'm so excited for. It was a good segue, but I'm so excited for the Kurt Angle coming out, and just the future of the line. I love. The Superstars are still like one of my favorite things to collect, and I see them in the stores like on a daily basis. So I'm always like, "Oh, did you get the new set in? Did you guys get the new set in?" Like, still get that kid feeling going to Walmart.
It is like that's what it's always fun looking for when you go to these toy stores. Like Walmart, they did the reset, they moved the figures. My wife, she'll go to Walmart and she'll call me. So, they think they got this stuff that's new, and I'm like, "Do you need that?" And I'm like, "Okay." So, like, she's the one who actually saw the Monday Night War Series 1 again. I was like, "You need to look for Series 2," and she's like going through the shelves as I'm talking to her on the phone, telling me who they have. So, like, my wife's an MVP for my figure collecting. So, plus the fact that she helps
shout out
support
to all the significant others. They always help us out.
Ain't that the
put
truth?
up with us?
Yeah,
a little bit of both, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I have a lot of toys in my living room. I don't know if that's normal.
Well, you see my house.
Yeah.
Talk about the Great Muda. Like,
oh, yes. So
how did that happen? Can we expect more?
So we got him. We're gonna try to explore as much as we can with Muda, so it's not just one and done. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. There's looks that we all want to make happen, and I'm sure Bill McKenna wants to spearhead all those looks because he's our biggest Japanese wrestling fan on the team. And for whatever the duration of the contract is, we're gonna deliver enough Mudas, hopefully, to make everybody of any era of Muda satisfied.
That's so amazing that we're getting the Great Mudas in the Mattel line. Like, I'm so friggin' excited about that. Again,
it was a massive announcement. I was super pumped to see that.
I am too. But again, like, we talked about it earlier. This is how you keep things coming. This is how we keep things fresh, and it just shocks us.
Yeah.
So like yes, I want to be shocked. I don't want to hear rumors. I don't want to see leaked stuff. I'm here for it. Hall of Fame Great Muda appearance figure inbound. All right, Nick Storm.
I would take it. All right, that was a cool mask. All right.
Oh yeah,
he had a vibe going that night, and I'm here for it. A little podium. Look at that. I'm brainstorming.
There you are. Any other updates you need to fill us in on? Anything?
I have no idea. My brain is mush with everything going on. I'm glad when you bring things up, I remember what you're talking about. I'm thinking ahead of things, but obviously tomorrow that 70s Superstars of the Territory, whatever the heck it's called. I could just read it. Here we go.
I love
Live
hearing
Oh my gosh.
If
you're
too busy to remember what it's called, that means a lot of good things are coming as well.
Legends of the Territory era, featuring larger-than-life superstars from the 70s. It's here. There's Monsoon and Ali on the side panel. We've got abdominal stretch here with Harley and Superstar. And then there they are on the side, Harley in a suit. Maybe it's the robe, not a suit. There's no tie.
Yeah.
Lots of shadows make me think it's a tie.
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
You have your classic loud. 70s style event poster artwork with the color that is just like, so cool.
Beautiful.
Then,
the way they're packaged, that's so great. That's
face off
awesome.
there. Hands, they can point at each other. They can give each other claws and grapples and all that good stuff. And then the title belts, of course.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is available tomorrow. If you want more, support it. I know sometimes people don't like when I say things like that, but it's true. It's true. You can't just blindly make things. And this definitely is something that, we all need to just realize is kind of like a test thing. Going back to the 70s. With regular releases is not the most safe route to take. But hey, look, if you guys support it and blow it up, like it gives me the ammo I need to say, hey, there's something here. Maybe we could do more. And if it doesn't blow up, that's okay too, because we'll still do those superstars that we have available elsewhere, whether it's mainline or legends or whatever. So they'll come, but if you want them in like this kind of execution, like a box set or something dedicated to them, we need to see some miraculous sell through tomorrow.
So, dude, I was just blown away the way you open that. How it's just displayable as soon as you take it out of the box.
Oh yeah,
like,
and
that's
and
a whole nother level.
Everybody should buy 2 so you can display it. You
buy 3 because you need the outside package too. Like
well, not only you do need 3 to go one side. You might need 4.
Yeah,
yeah, because you got to put Muhammad Ali on one side, and you got Harley on the other. No, I was gonna say that if you guys keep making the packaging that nice, like what are we gonna do with the figures? They're so good. I was opening the Survivor Series set and I was just blown away with how awesome that outer box is. And then you open it up and you got the box the eggs packed in, and like same thing here. It's just a mind blowing quality. Like I wasn't expecting any of that.
Yeah, I mean, once again, credit to the packaging team, and I'm very lucky that Bruce and George are so collaborative. Like we'll just get into a small room and hash it out, and they will knock it out of the park. Absolutely. And it's nice. It's nice to have that relationship. It's not overly formal. And I think that those conversations, those creative sessions leads to great things like this of fandom coming together. And love like pouring out into the packaging. Some people will do a packaging brief and write, here's a strategy and these are the priorities. And sure, that's fine up to a point, but like to make the magic happen, you need those conversations, you need that collaboration. And that I'm blessed that my team allows me to do that with them.
That's awesome. I love the nod to the 70s wrestling posters like that. That's just such a beautiful touch.
And it's funny, like I walk around my town and we have wrestling at the Elks and I still see those kind of posters. So it's kind of fun when you still see it. Even though I don't recognize any of the names, but it's just like a little throwback. Like I tell the guys all the time, like to me, when I was a kid, we didn't have cable. So following all the wrestlers outside of the WWF I was reading Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Wrestling's Main Event magazine. It's how I knew who Abdul the Butcher was. It's how I knew who half of these guys were. And now I would like to get figures of them, and now I get to watch this stuff. Like it's funny. I love that. I hate to say it. I love that I'm old enough to have lived through the whole thing and seen how it's progressed. But it's just a fun time to be a wrestling fan and a fun time to be a figure collecting fan. Like you just can't get enough. So.
Well said.
Wow. I'm checking out Steve's display in the background. You like to do when he's on, if you notice. So, but
I don't think there's any secrets back there, at least visible.
Yeah.
You check before you come on and make sure. Maybe I need to hide this.
I didn't have time today, so hopefully
blow up the internet when they see something on there all of a sudden. But dude, thank you again for coming on and spending the time with us. We always love when you come on. We appreciate it so much. We love all you guys at Mattel. It was so good to finally meet you too. So
yeah, you too finally, and hopefully both of you can make it out to WrestleMania in Vegas. There's always Comic-Con, come out there as well. It's always a good time, but always appreciate you having me on. It's always a good chat, and let's enjoy this moment, and I'll keep those figures rolling.
Yeah, that's territories. Book the 5 territories tomorrow, man.
Mattel Creations. I think it's noon Eastern tomorrow, right? Noon Eastern. Mattel
Yes.
Creations. It's
9
only
Pacific.
$80
$80.
for elites. You're not going to beat that. You're not.
$80 for 3 elites and a free Muhammad Ali figure.
Yeah.
I like it. Beat
And
that.
2 beautiful title belts, right? We gotta go with that.
And again, I try to pound into people's heads. Oh, we keep getting all of these. I'm like, listen, these are the people that sell. I repeat everything you tell them. You've said on here. Like, in order to get the guys that might not sell as well, we need to get all these Hogans, because I'm gonna buy every Hogan, and a lot of people are gonna buy every Hogan, every Piper, every Macho Man. So we can hope that Macho Man returns to the line soon. Still, we see him in the game. That's a question I had for you.
Ooh,
real quick before we let you out of here. Mike knows exactly where I'm going. The Hulk Hogan Mattel Legends, the with Target, if you bought the Legends, you would get the Hogan in the 2K24 game, and so many people missed out on it. Is there a chance we can still get it another way? Do you have any clue?
I don't know. I didn't run that program, but I do know that it wasn't specific to the Hogan figure. Like, there was a list of figures you could buy that would qualify, and then maybe that confused people, unfortunately.
Yes.
So I'll talk to 2K about it. My partners over there, and talk to the marketing manager who oversaw the program, and let them know, and maybe there'll be a second chance opportunity or whatever. But I think the thought was like, hey, you have this whole list of available figures you could buy right now and do it. So it wasn't that figure specific. So
I think
we'll see what happens.
What was confusing was that actual Hogan didn't come out until after that promo ended, so that's why I think we all got confused with that. But man, playing the game, and I don't know if you're a gamer and you play it all, the figure creations in this game look amazing. The shadowing, the way they did it, man, it's just so cool, and just makes the game extra fun to have that in it.
They did an outstanding job, and we did a collab post with the Cody Rhodes figure, and that would just the comments were just crazy. Like, everybody wants like a game of all action figure type wrestlers, small soldiers, Toy Story style as well. So who knows what can happen, but 2K is excited. We're excited, and while I don't manage it, I get to be part of the creative conversation, and I'll pitch all those ideas on your behalf to them, for sure.
Well, how cool is it for you to see something you worked on as in a figure form show up in a digital form on a video game? I mean, it's something I never even crossed paths until I seen it, and I was like, wow. Like, the Hogan looks amazing, the Cody looks amazing. It's layers on layers of awesome stuff. It's so cool to see them in the game. Like, I almost have a better time playing with the toy versions in the game than I do playing with the actual wrestlers, and that's crazy.
It's fun because I think it unlocks like a different thought process as you're playing, right? Different type of fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm a long time gamer. I don't have time to do it much now, but if this would have happened in the No Mercy WrestleMania 2000 days, right? Like, how cool would that have been? But it's happening now, and they look even better than ever before. And the Cena last year was great. And that relationship will continue, and they're great partners, and
that's great
I'm
news.
sure more magic is going to happen in the future.
I love it. These are the good old days, guys. Don't miss out.
That's the tagline for our episode. These are the good old days.
Right.
Steve,
So
just
awesome.
tell everybody where they can follow you, and thank you again.
You can check me out on socials, Action Figure Attack on Instagram, Action Fig Attack on Twitter, maybe TikTok as well, and Action Figure Attack on the forums, and at a convention near you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for always being the guy with us. Like, it's so fun to talk to you every time, and just shoot shit about toys, because that's what we're all here for.
My pleasure, guys.
Thank you again, and until next week, for Steve, for Mike, we're gonna say FigGuys out.
Reach for the sky, boy.